Hey gang, it's Thursday night. It's time for another episode of LonsTV. Bunch of stuff I want to talk about tonight, including some music reviews. But first, I want to talk about Wikileaks. First of all, can't arrest the head of Wikileaks for treason. He's not American, okay? Just so we all know, I don't want to hear this on the internet every day for the next year, because I've been hearing it every day. Not American, can't be guilty of treason. Could be guilty of other things, not treason. Not trying to defend him, not treason. As for the Wikileaks thing itself, I gotta say, it doesn't emotionally grab me. I know everybody on the internet seems to be really upset and fired up and has an opinion about it. And, I get everybody sort of has their political side that they fall down on, and so do I. But I assume already that the government lies to us about everything all the time. So this just isn't surprising to me. I mean, it's kind of funny when sometimes the things come out and it's just like heads of countries just randomly saying like prejudiced, racist, mean things about heads of other countries. Like, I sort of already assume that happens too. I mean, if you think about it, like, I know a lot of gossip about, like, Silvio Berlusconi. So if I know a lot of gossip about him, I mean, the people who work with him every day must have just crazy amounts of gossip. I mean, that guy's probably, like, insane. So, who can blame them for talking smack about one another on that level? And it just doesn't surprise me. I don't really find it all that interesting. I just assume that people on that level are just, like, massively sleazy and corrupt and doing all of these things wrong. Like, I get that it's probably irresponsible to just not consider classified information classified, like something could go really wrong, but the classified information that comes out is just like, you can't use this for evil. It's just stupid and embarrassing. And I don't know, the point is everybody seems to really care about it, and I don't care about it at all. I miss more fun news. I want, like, let's bring the war on Christmas back. Like, what happened to that? Everybody seems to have just sort of gotten over saying happy holidays, and I want that back. That was way more fun. I don't really have a strong opinion about the Wikileaks thing, I gotta be honest. Moving on, the main thing I wanted to review today is 2 new albums. I rarely talk about music, just ever, especially on the show. I like music a lot, but I don't really feel like I'm very erudite about it. Like, I don't feel like I have a really strong opinion that I can back up. Like, I don't make movies, but I feel like I know a lot about them, like, enough to where I can be like, this movie sucks! And I expect people to listen, and I do expect you to listen. But with music, I don't feel like I can be like, this album sucks, because I feel like there's some hipstery guy who knows more about music who's going to be like, actually, that is the shit. And then I'll discover it's the shit, and I'll be like, grr, that hipster that I made up who's now ruining my show. So anyway, I don't like to review music that strongly, even though I like it. I just don't want to be that strong in my opinion because I don't really get how it comes together. I really do like both of these new albums I've been listening to. The new Kanye West album, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and the new Girl Talk album, All Day. I just wanted to talk about how they're both so complicated. I mean, Girl Talk's album isn't complicated, like, thoughtfully. It's just, let me mash up, like, every song you remember ever. But it's really well executed. Kanye's album, though, I mean, it's so, like, thoughtful and significant and dense, and people really seem to be getting stuff out of it, and I just gotta say, like, it just is weird and sort of prog rock meets hip-hop, and I just enjoy it, but I don't really feel like I get what he's trying to say with it. Like, it's beyond me. It's just, like, out there and this thing that exists, and I'm glad it exists because I like it, but I don't get, like, the people who are scrutinizing it, and I read reviews, and they're like, well, Kanye clearly has this to say, and it's like, what? He clearly has something to say with that? It just sounds like, sort of craziness. I like it, though. But overall, music is just so complicated now. I remember music as being very straightforward my whole life. It was catchy. Songs were either about things, like, some songs would be about something specific, like, that Neil Young, like, For Dad in Ohio, like, that's about a thing that happened. Or it would be a song that's just kind of like, I'll stop the world and melt with you, or whatever. It's just a love song or something like that. But it was all very simple. It was just like, it sounded good, it was catchy, or it was emotional, and that was it. And it was never really complicated. Like, in college, I would listen to, like, Fish, and they would play, like, one different note every half hour. And that was, like, The Fish Show, and it was awesome. It was like brain-meltingly awesome. There were drugs involved, but it was still awesome. And now music, like the great music that's coming out that I'm enjoying, I'm also recognizing, like, this requires a lot of my attention. Like, this is really complicated. Like, maybe music was always that complicated and I just never noticed, but it seems now like there's just a lot going on in almost every, like, great album that I really like. And it's odd because it feels like the opposite of the way the culture's going. Like, almost everything is becoming simpler so you can multitask. So you can do, like, you can text and you can tweet and you can talk to people you're with and you can, like, you know, eat beignet, which seems to be coming back, and, you know, and this thing is going on. Except music now, which is, like, if you're not listening to that Kanye album, like, in headphones, like, paying attention, you're gonna, like, miss stuff. And if you're not, you know, that Girl Talk album, like, if you don't have a blog post with, like, everything he's sampling, you're gonna miss a lot of the stuff he's doing. So it's just weird that it's going that way. I realize I'm talking very fast. That's today's episode of LonsTV. I'll be back tomorrow, Friday, with the last episode for this week, and then mercifully take 2 days to, like, sort of decompress and think of more stuff to talk about. So I will see you then. Thanks for tuning in. Why not subscribe?